Hero February continues, baby. And today I want to spotlight some of your creations. Here's some fan-submitted mocks that came straight to me through the fan-submitted email. It's on your screen right now if you want to send in some of your own creations. But before you jump over to your email and send me your mock, let's take a minute and check out these incredible Hero Factory creations to celebrate HF Feb. Starting off with Loaf Builds and their interpretation of Breeze. So this mock is a very fun amalgamation of multiple different versions of the character. You have the sweet trans-red hexagonal tech shield that she's got, that of course appeared in Breeze's breakout form. She also boasts armor that's very reminiscent of this exact look as well. And then Loaf Builds has brought back some of the silver accents into her color scheme, which is certainly reminding me of the Brain Attack version of the set. Especially, of course, because she's wearing that exact same mask, except without the visor this time. But thankfully, that mask looks just as good with or without the visor. Man, that might be one of the best masks we ever got out of Hero Factory. So good. And speaking of masks, take a look at the shoulder design. It's using the lime green version of Turaga no Kama's mask. I never really thought about pairing this mask with that circular Hero Factory piece that we see in the center of the torso. But dang, they're like a match made in heaven. The texture and the rounded edges of that mask, they look near identical to this middle piece. What a pairing. Oh yeah, and Breeze's new staff as well. For starters, that's a cool idea for a new weapon for her, but look, it's using Onawa Nuva's chainsaw weapon. This is such a good weapon element, and I don't know why it doesn't get more love. It's a giant chainsaw. So I encourage you, next time you build a mock, if you've got that piece sitting around doing nothing in your collection, find a way to use it, because it's good. And one last thing, this waist design. It's using the feet pieces that originally appeared on some Knights Kingdom characters. This specific one, of course, appeared in the Mighty Vladik. And yeah, what a sick design and a very clever part use, using it for the waist. I love it. Now we've got a villain to fight Breeze. This is Thunder, and this is built by Panavara. So okay, there's a lot to unpack here, a lot of clever ways that pieces and parts are being used. But first, let's just take a moment to appreciate how good this revamp looks. I feel like every HF Feb, someone comes around and builds a revamp of Thunder that slaps. And this certainly does. Now, look here at the waist. You'll notice a couple black Nuva shoulder pieces have been put here. These pieces, specifically in this color, they came in a set like this old LEGO Sports hockey set. It's a weird one, but hey, those are good pieces. And the way that these parts neatly fill in the gap that's left here on the waist, it's good. Super satisfying, you know? The torso then uses this shoulder armor piece. This one came in breakout bulk. But I really like how this then interfaces with this armor piece. Again, this also came in bulk. Using these two pieces together like this, it looks wonderful. There's just very seamless transitions between the parts. They blend together very nicely. Oh, and then the way it's capped off with a couple skull spider masks as shoulder pads. The way that blends into the armor is majestic. And it's always just good seeing those pieces being used for armor detailing. It always looks good. Hey man, this rocks. Oh, but I quite like this Stringer revamp that was built by Richard Wilson. It's keeping the same rock and roll vibes of Breakout Stringer, which, hey, was one of the most fun concepts that we got for any hero. Dude has like sonic powers, and all he has to do is play his guitar and the speakers on his shoulders produce, you know, weaponized sound. That's dope. So it's good to see that continuing on this revamp. But we don't have this color scheme, we go back to the classics. He's got the color scheme that he had in his debut form back in the 1.0 era. Yeah, this feels like a perfect combination of all the best versions of the character. And hey, since we were talking about that guitar weapon a hot second ago, I like that this guitar is like half battle axe, half musical instrument. That might just be the coolest thing ever. Yeah, and actually I feel like this stockier, more heavily armored body design, as well as the larger, really like in-charge weapon like this, I feel like that suits Stringer's vibe perfectly, you know? He seems like the kind of character that would bring the thunder, that would hit villains hard. This just works. Oh yeah, and then check out these 2x2 system dish elements. We can see them being used as speakers on the leg design. How fantastic does that look? Now the speaker vibe just isn't localized up top, it's everywhere on the character. Mate, I love this. Megalomox is next, and this one is called Transforming Xplode. Okay, so before we get to that transformation itself, Xplode looks really good on his own. He looks a bit more like a porcupine now. But yeah, hey, that's fun. And I guess that's a pretty simple but good recipe for a villain. The more spikes, the better. But of course, he can indeed transform. And turning him into a big old ball, that's just funny. But at the same time, I like the idea that this could be some sort of defense mode. When he looks like this, there's no way a hero could pierce that powerful ball armor. And they can't even get close to him, he's just all spikes. And I guess there's no way you could really handcuff him either. It's the perfect defense from getting, brought back to jail. Or hey, I mean, this could be an attack mode as well. Maybe he's like a basketball and he can dribble himself around and launch himself at enemies. That would be terrifying. I enjoy seeing a transformation that isn't turning him into a jet or a car or some type of vehicle, but the transformation still has some sort of practical purpose, and it still makes sense in battle. That's nice. Plus, I'm blown away at the geometry of these pieces. I didn't expect these spike parts to line up into a ball so well, but they do. Heck yeah. Over to a very good one. This is Rick Tory 4.0 by Shano. Oh, what a great color scheme. I don't know, there's something about this that feels really over the top in the best way possible, The color scheme just screams noble hero, valiant protector. They look like a superhero. I mean, heck, the character's name is literally Victory. Victory. I love the idea of a hero character that's just all in. They're proud to be a hero and they look good doing it. Because if you're going to have super evil villains that are decked out with hundreds of spikes, they've got a sinister looking face, they're the embodiment of evil. Well, why not have a hero that's the opposite of that? Everything about them makes them look clean, noble, good. I don't know, I think that's sick, and not enough people necessarily lean into that. It's fun. Something else that I think is pretty cool are the use of some banana pieces on the waist. Very clever part use, nice way of rounding off the torso design. Delightful. I'm also a big fan of this torso. Using these small blue Technic panel pieces alongside these black shoulder elements. Elements that came on Rocka XL, of course. And if you're curious, these blue Technic panels came in a Technic set much like this one. Yeah, I don't know, the way those pieces kind of play off of one another is really nice. It's clean, it's clever, it's good. Oh yeah, and of course, he comes with a drone. Any good hero should come with a little pet drone. It kind of makes me want to see Hero Factory return, and then the gimmick is that every hero has their own personalized drone companion. I would really like that. This is a great mock. Alright, but check out this amazing Rocka revamp. This creation was unnamed in the submission, and I'm not really sure how to pronounce this name, so I apologize. But I feel like this is giving some good Rocka revamp vibes. And what a revamp this is. Decking him out with some kind of sci-fi knight armor. Ooh, baby. I mean, the sword alone is just perfect. And the inclusion of this little Nexo printed tile piece in the center, genius. If you're curious, this specific tile comes in this Nexo set. It's called Tech Wizard Showdown. You can see it in the very center of the mech. But that really is the perfect finishing touch for this sword. Hey, maybe that's a reminder to break out some of your printed or stickered Lego elements. They might look really good on the next sword design that you build. I don't know, this is just so clean, and the builder just has such a good eye for detail. Detail like this golden shield that we can see, actually also in this Nexo set. It's on that shield just down the bottom there. This is used here on the waist of the mock. It caps things off very nicely, it's truly exceptional. And then this upper torso with those bulky shoulder pads, the Exoforce robot arms with that chain linking them together. Sensational. And that's it for this episode, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. And hopefully taking a look at some really good Hero Factory creations got you inspired. If you want to see more from these builders that were featured today, take a look at the links below. And if you want to see your own mock on the show, submit it to this submission email. It's on your screen right now. It's also in the links below. Go check it out. Happy HF Feb, everyone. I'll see you in the next episode. Happy building, and bye for now.